Give me a high sign when you're ready. We'll call the meeting to order. Are we live? We're live? We're alive. Well, welcome everybody. Riley, you recording? So we're ready to go. This is the third of hopefully the last neighborhood briefing for the Skiloft project before we get started. I appreciate everybody coming, and we're putting it online. It's going out on a live feed now, plus it'll be recorded. So anybody that's here today that wants to review it, or anyone who's watching from afar can either watch it live or bring up the recording. We've got the engineer for the project, West Consultants here. We've got our public works director, our police chief, fire chief, that will be responsible for the project. Our contractor could not make it, as well as Mountain Electric. So let me get started. What I'm going to do is update everybody, and then we're going to open it up for questions. So the project update from our last meeting, which was February 28th, the good news is we have substantial temporary construction easements obtained and recorded in Avery County, and the town council decided some time ago to move forward with the project. You may or may not know, one of the questions we received is it was the impression that we had to have 100% of the property owners to sign. That was our desire. But if you recall, the legal document that we mailed to every property owner specifically stated in two areas that it would be up to the town council to decide to proceed with less than 100%. And the town council did. We have 4 property owners who have not signed the temporary construction easement, and the town council has accepted that and decided to move forward with the project. Project has gone to bid, and we selected a contractor. It's M&M Construction, which is an arm of Eggers Construction. Very good contractor for this type of project. We've met with them to go over the bid and go over the timing and how this project is going to go forward. We're waiting on, because we're using grant money from the state as well as town funds, we're waiting on the state to give us authorization to award the contract, and we expect to see that mid-November. And we'll sign a contract with with M&M Construction and get that underway. The dry utilities, which is the telephone, cable, and electric, those materials have been ordered and are en route, correct, Daniel? Those are the conduits for the various project businesses, and we've got those on order. We've secured the staging area for equipment and materials. 2 staging areas, one's across the street and one's down the Parkway a ways behind the Meadows tanks. Not the Meadows tank, mid-range tanks, Parkway tanks. And we are now selecting an electrician to work on the meter bases that go with the new meter bases that go with each house. We haven't selected that contractor yet, and we're working with general contractor to be on the project to do some of the properties have steps, stairs that need to be relocated because of encroachments, and we're out to bid on that, and we'll have a general contractor and an electrician on board soon. So just as a recap, we're replacing all the water and sewer, all the electrical, all the telephone and cable systems will be replaced, all underground, all will be brand new. We're improving the stormwater drainage system. There'll be a drivable curb and gutter on each side of the pavement. New culverts. We've reached out to many of the property owners that are affected to get utility easements for the drainage culvert to go underground. So we'll be able to not only collect the stormwater that comes down Skiloft, but divert it and get it off out of that piece of the mountain. we send it downhill to somebody else. We're gonna rebuild and replace the entire roadway. That'll be the entire roadway bed, pavement, striping, and reflectors. The pavement goes in 2 sections. Before September 30th, we'll have the gravel base and the first layer of asphalt put in. Then we'll wait till the springtime of 25 to do the final layer of asphalt, striping, and the reflectors. The reason for that is we're putting a substantial amount of piping underground, and we have to have a period of time to test it, assuming that there'll be something that needs to be dug up. We don't want to dig up new pavement and patch it. So when we're done with the project, we want to have a finished coat of asphalt that looks good, drives well, striped and reflected. The timeline is as we put into the construction easement, April 1st. We'll turn off the power, disconnect the water, and begin digging. And it will be completed by September 30th. That's the timeline that everybody's worried about. There'll be at that point no utilities and no road access. Obviously, we're not going to dig up the whole road at the same time, but the contractor is given the flexibility to dig as quickly as he can and as much as he can so that we can get this project underway and completed before the 30th. There is some work that we can do early that will happen before hopefully April 1st. And these will be off-site that won't impact the utilities to your properties. It won't impact the road access. We'll be doing some valve work, some interconnections, and preliminary work. So you may see that before April 1st, depending on the weather. You may even see some of that in, December? Awesome. We'll see if we can get some of that work done. Again, on the timeline, we built the contract with penalties for the contractor to be late. More importantly, we built into this contract bonuses for the contractor to be early. Obviously, timing is the key in this project. We've got to get the work in, we've got to get the utilities back on, we've got to get a drivable surface to the properties by September 30th. So the contractor, although we put substantial penalties in, they simply just build that into their bid. More importantly, we offer bonuses to be done early, and that appears to have attracted several contractors. They were more interested in the bonuses than the penalties. So the desire, I'll tell you, it's a promise. We're going to get it done before September 30th. I talked to you about the first layer of asphalt. So let's talk a little bit about funding. We had originally looked at a $2 million project, and it came in at $4.9 million. We're using grant money that has a expiration date of December 31st of 2026. So we've got to get this grant money used in this particular project before that time. We've gone back to the state for additional funding for this project, and quite frankly, we're going to have to use town funds, taxpayer funds, and utility funds to complete the project, to put it all together. So it's substantially more expensive than what we anticipated. The town council is committed to the project, and we can't stop. So we're moving forward. We will, just to recap, we will suspend the water, sewer, and sanitation fees for that 180-day period that those services won't be available to the properties. So you won't be paying your minimum water fee, your sanitation fee, and your sewer. We had promised to do that before, and we'll continue to meet that promise. Many of you had issues with your homeowner's insurance company. There's a different category of abandoned property and vacant property. So the town produced an enhanced public safety plan. We sent that out to everybody. We've sent that to every property insurance company that asked for it. We've had 100% acceptance of that plan. and I want to go over that in just a minute with you. And I've got the police chief here, and of course I'm responsible for the fire side. If we can get you a copy of this plan, it is online if we need to. So that's just a little bit of the background. More importantly, the bold, if I could go over that. So we're going to provide no vehicle access because there won't be a road, but we're going to provide foot access to your properties by the owner. And we'll run that through the police department. We have an enhanced public safety plan, and what we'll do is we'll use the ski resort ski slope, providing that we don't have a really bad winter and there's a ton of snow still on that thing. But the police department has an ATV, and they'll make arrangements with the property owner to go up and visit their property if they need to. What we don't want you to do is just be walking around up there, because the police department's going to be monitoring that neighborhood enhanced patrol, and we don't want to be chasing homeowners. So we'll set up something with the chief. If you want to visit the property, check on something, if you need a repair or something like that, we're going to run it through the police department. They can assist in getting you up there if we have the availability of people and the ATV, and make it as safe as possible for the property owner as well as the contractor. So we had planned to run a 5-inch water line down from the top along the slope. We have been able to modify the existing utility. Some of the work that I talked about doing early is going to be connecting those fire hydrants that are along the slope, and having those operational before we disconnect the water. So we'll have fire protection in those fire hydrants along the slope. If we have a fire, the fire department will be responsible for not only extinguishing that fire, but monitoring the neighborhood to make sure that it doesn't spread and that there isn't a concern in that neighborhood. The police department, like I said, will utilize enhanced progressive patrols utilizing UTV. They'll do personnel patrols on foot. We'll have a surveillance drone. I haven't been able to purchase that yet, but we're working with town council. Police officer will be certified and licensed by the FAA to run that drone, and we'll do that not only during the day but at night to monitor the neighborhood from top to bottom. We'll provide, I think the chief told me he's going to put up 5 portable light towers that will be placed along the Skiloft, and we'll run those every night until the project is ended, to provide security lighting in the neighborhood. We'll provide, like I said, the weekly walk-up, monthly drive-up access. I don't think it will have drive-up access unless you ride in our UTV until the road gets substantially completed. And then if you've got a special case, you know that something happened and you need some repairs or something, whatever the case-by-case is, chief of police will be the point of contact, and we'll work that out with the property owner, whatever it needs to be. All right. So progress information. We want to make sure that the property owners have a place to go to find out what's going on with the project. Hopefully, I envision we'll take some pictures. Whatever drone we have, we'll be able to capture some aerial visuals. And Kate Urbanus will be responsible for getting that information online at the town website, so that you'll be able to pull up progress reports on the project. In addition, Daniel Davis will be point of contact for the project, for the utility work and everything that's going on. So he'll be your point of contact. You can call him. He'll find the answer and get it to you. And of course, we'll have the regular updates. Kate will send out emails if we have any issues, any problems. But we're going to have a section on the website for updates, and Daniel will be the town contact. One thing I need from the property owners is good contact information, and that needs to be in Kate's hands, so that one, we can contact you if we have a question, if we have an issue. As the project moves along and we have to reconnect water, reconnect sewer, reconnect electric. We have to talk to you to make sure that that goes smoothly. So make sure before April 1st, Kate Gervais has your most up-to-date contact information, and then keep it current if things change. It's extremely important that we have the ability to contact the property owner quickly so that we don't, one, delay, or two, if there's a conflict, we need to get a decision made, we have the ability to contact you. Obviously, this is a complex project. This isn't a simple little project. There's gonna be a lot of little things that come up, and we'll need to deal with those on a case-by-case basis. So we've got to be able to get Daniel in touch with you, so that if it's an electrical, if it's a plumbing, if it's a skyline problem, location of a meter, things that we can't see today, then we need to be able to contact you to do that. All right, Benji, you got anything that I didn't cover you need to talk about?
You covered it very well, so I think I'm just here for any questions.
Daniel, how about you?
I agree. Well covered.
Kate?
We do have the website ready to go live next Tuesday. It will be on the town website under community and economic development. And there is a section just for the Skiloft infrastructure project, which will have, for example, this document that Bob has gone over with you today will be on there, but then you'll also have your updates on there, and you can reach out to us as well through that webpage.
The whole idea to make this smooth is to have good communications with the 40 or so property owners up there as the project goes forward. So it's really important that you feel comfortable, that you can get real-time information on what's going on, and we can reach out to you and say, we need to get in your backyard, or we need to get where your meter is, or we need to get, in the kitchen. What, I don't know, but we need to be able to find somebody pretty quickly to make this work. If I missed anything?
So I do have the plans with me, if anybody
You
tonight
do?
wanted to look at their property in particular.
Briefly, let me talk about Beach Top. Beach Top at the gate, that rock wall, encroaches quite a bit into the town right away. And we're going to be removing that rock wall and building an engineered, what's the technical term for that wall that we're putting in?
Segmental retaining wall.
There you go. So, which will require us to remove and then replace the gate, and we'll be responsible for that. The driveway and up is private property, and we're going to be replacing water, sewer, electrical, but we're not going to be repaving it. We'll be patching it, but not repaving it. So this would be the opportune time if the Beach Top community wanted to have a brand new surface, coordinate it with the project. You'd have to pay for that additional paving, but you may find that it would be cost effective because there's going to be a lot of digging in that. And then the project will replace the gate with the reconfiguration of where the wall is. Anything on Beach Top that needs to be discussed here?
I think the only other issue on Beach Top would be let those owners know that they would like to have a new meter location.
Water meter.
A new water meter location. Part of those issues are actually there, where they're currently located. So we'll work with each homeowner, individually meet with those and show them where their new water meters will be sitting.
Okay. We have good contacts for Beach Top. I know we've got one or two.
Yeah,
here. So now let's talk about encroachments. We've got a list, I think, of 10 or 11 properties that have encroachments into the right-of-way that have to be relocated, rebuilt, removed, whatever. Tucker, your wall is one of them. So that's going to have another one of those, whatever Benji said it was, the segmental concrete.
Is it gold plated?
No. And that's probably the biggest one, but there's a number of steps that need to be reconfigured. There's some bins, right? And then there's some very small retaining walls that need to be put in place in the right of way that will make this project work. So we have a list, hopefully we've reached out to those property owners already. Do they know about it?
Most, yes.
Most. Between now and April 1st, we need to make sure everybody on that list knows what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it. Okay, let's ask the important people questions. People who own there, live there, property owners.
So far, so good.
Really? We asked for written comments for those who couldn't be here. We got 3, and I think I've addressed all 3 in my comments, did I not, Kate? So, obviously, we need open communication. So, email, pick up the phone. What I don't want to do is have 3 or 4 people in the town giving 3 or 4 different answers. So Daniel's our contact for the project. Kate is our contact for information. The 2 of them will get the right answer and get it to you. They may not know the answer, they may not be the correct one, but they'll find it and get it to you. So if we can have open communication going into this, then it'll work. And the neighborhood will have a brand new infrastructure for the next 40 years. Couple things that we talked about today. Hopefully everyone knows that there's not going to be any power. So you can't leave your refrigerator full of food, chicken, on April 1st. So plan how you want to deal with that. Most of these properties are rental. So obviously, you do what you want, but you shouldn't be booking people April 2nd because we're going to turn the lights off. Mountain Electric is ready to go. They've staged their equipment. Let me talk about Mountain Electric just for a minute. 50% of the property meter bases were deteriorated to the point where Mountain Electric said they had to be replaced. So the decision was made to replace them all, Benji?
Correct.
And the project is going to cover that cost. Meter base actually is the property of the building. It's not Mountain Electric's. They're going to provide them to us. We're going to hire an electrician to wire them up back to your service. So there will be a new meter base. I wanted you to know that Mountain Electric has decided to provide those. And then the project will pay for the electrician to hook it back up. What else do they need to know? Chief, how about you? Because I just told them you're gonna shuttle them up and down the mountain. And you didn't know that.
Provided that we have staff available to do
Right.
that, yeah, we'll have anybody out as much as we can. But I do ask that if you wanna come check the residence, please let us know. If we find you up there,
You gonna call or email or what do you want, Tim?
I would, both. Okay. Give us a call, you might email me, I might be off.
Yeah.
Give us a call, that way whoever's on
Tell
duty.
dispatch then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, call
Okay,
dispatch.
okay.
Yeah,
That'll be our focal point.
Okay.
And dispatch can let the officer know, and the officer can respond up if that.
Okay.
I would, excuse me, I would ask that, if you have any plans this fall, installations, move your mailbox, any small things that you want to do on your front of your property, please give me a call, and, that way we can look at that map between now and April 1st, and just ensure that, whatever you've got on your mind that might look great this fall, that could feasibly be a problem later on, just, like to talk with you about it. Anybody can set an appointment with me to look at the plan set, and that's the most updated information that we have for the existing project as it is today. As Bob has told everyone, we're bringing the contractor on board, so they will be, from today forward, they will be providing us with more in-depth information as we proceed. At this point, we do not have a construction schedule of work done, other than the fact that it will begin and end on time. So if you have those style of questions, it will take us just a little bit of working with the contractor to get that information seamless and in a place that we can answer you for any of those questions. But regardless, anytime that you can look at what might be going on in your property, just email me, and I can set a meeting with you. We can look at the plans and see what it looks like.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the project that you and I did discuss, specifically like water, how it gets from there, if that's all, right, there's those types of things.
Right.
We got a plan, but it looks like it's gonna change as the construction goes. It's the first time we've done this, that's right.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, and there'll be a lot of, what do we do here?
Yeah,
And what we wanna do is reach out to you and say, this is what we'd like to do. We're gonna need a decision pretty quick and keep moving. We've got to get done by September 30th, and that means we've got to get the power back on, the water, everything in, and a drivable road by September 30th. So that's going to be the driving force. So. Yep.
I just worried, I know you brought it up a while ago about all the patching up at the beach top. I mean, back home, I'm a pavement contractor, and when you start patching up roads here and there, you usually get in trouble up the road. And that place up there is nothing but cold and snow and rain, believe me. We'll have snow 15, 18 feet deep in the neighborhoods in the winter. And I'm just worried the patches, they fail 6 months, a year later, what's gonna happen? I just don't know if we can afford to have it paid. We'll probably get an estimate, but we only have 7 homes. And last year we spent $14,000 on snow plowing. We just don't have so much money. And then you gotta pay taxes, house tax, and everything. Everybody knows all about that. I'm just worried about how the patches go. Like I said, back home, it's flat and it's hot all the time. They hold up pretty good. We still have trouble back home. It's a different animal up there at beach top.
I don't disagree with you, and paving and patching has been a concern in the town for a long time. The issue, quite frankly, is taxpayer money on a private driveway. I can't cross that line.
Right.
The requirement is that we have to patch when we replace a water line. If we were up there today and the water line had to be replaced, we would patch. I don't have the funds in the project in any case, but I'm using taxpayer funds and I can't do a private driveway. I think it would be a good opportunity to take a look at how much digging is going to be done there. I mean, we're talking water, sewer, and electric and meter lines. There may not be much pavement left after patching goes. It may be cost effective to recap it. But it's going to be, we're going to commit to patch because we have to. It may be an opportunity for the HOA to say, what's the difference to cap it with asphalt. You would know better than I.
Patching is a lot more expensive per square yard than
That's what I think.
overlaying.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're committing to patching because that's what we're required to do, and that's legally what I can do with taxpayer money. It may be more cost effective to pave it.
You did a lot of patching, it could be cheaper over there, it's possible.
Yeah.
I've had that happen many times back home.
Well, that's I wanted to answer your question that you
Right.
sent in.
Right.
That is the answer, that
Right.
we're required to patch it, that's what we're going to do.
Right.
But in this particular case, we may find that it's less expensive
Right.
to actually cap it.
Yeah, I can get with you. and figure
Okay.
something out.
Okay.
And if they did patch though, I mean, I'm not saying they would do it here or ever, but back home, a lot of contractors don't put tack down around, tack is like a glue. They don't do that, and then, 3 months later, the patch is gone.
Yeah.
And our DOT does it. I tell
First
them,
freeze.
but our SCDOT does that.
We are experts at patching. we can make a speed bump in a ditch.
But like I said, even the SCDOT, they don't use tack.
Yeah.
And then they're back 6 months later patching the holes back. It's crazy back.
Keep doing it.
I don't know how North Carolina is.
Well, the good news, the woolly worm says it's gonna be a heck of a winter. So I think April 1st, we're gonna be removing snow at beach top.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because you had snow up there,
We've had, the latest I remember was the end of May.
yeah, well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
End of May.
See, that's the other thing. We don't know what Mother Nature's gonna bring us.
Yeah.
We have to start digging April 1st. There's no way around it. So, it's gonna be,
I don't want to get off the subject, but you remember last year I called y'all and reported an avalanche forming.
Right.
It was crazy.
right,
Man-made avalanche. You ever heard of that?
last year.
Yeah, and when I called the police, and they said, I think you sent a couple people up there. to look at it, take pictures. Because I was worried about the house below, Christie's house.
We're gonna have the chief fire rounds at it to see if he can get it to fall.
From my,
I didn't know I wanted a business on it, they thought I was crazy, but I had pictures of it. It was about as big as a train locomotive, and I was scared. She lived down by herself. She lost her husband a couple of years ago, and I was worried.
So I've got my elected officials here, and I didn't see you sitting back there. Does the contractor got anything to say?
Oh, yeah. I was late.
You're fine. You can't be late on the project though. Let me recognize our mayor. Do you have anything to add or questions?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Kelly, how about you?
I'm good.
Jimmy? All right,
Off-street parking, or, will address that at all?
go ahead.
Okay, so I think one of the questions was, will I lose some of my parking area? So each property will be a special case, of course, but in general, the street is not really gonna be much wider than it is now. There's obviously, there's some places where it's, you've got a rock sticking out that obscures the travel way. So we'll be removing rock as needed to get a full 16 feet of asphalt and then 2-foot valley, concrete valley gutter on either side, as Bob mentioned. So, and that'll be a surface that you can drive across at any point. At the sharp turns, we will do extra width to make it easier to make those turns. So in general, you're not really gonna lose any parking. Some, where there's exceptions like, for Tucker, where the retaining wall comes out so far, that retaining wall gets pushed back. But just thought I'd mention that in case people were wondering. It's just, so it'll be, you'll have a defined edge, concrete, and but the asphalt will just be 16 feet wide, not 24 feet.
So one question about, several properties have pins out in the road, property pins, so how do you, would you be putting those back, somebody?
Yes.
For us, cause I can think of 4 pins right now that are actually in the asphalt, which will be gone, of course.
That is a requirement of the construction contract. If you could find them ahead of time, that would be helpful.
what question are you, are they gonna resurvey it? Is that one of the question?
Part of the question, yeah.
Are they gonna resurvey it once it's all done, lay the pins? Or is that not even on?
Just at the end, yeah, there's 4, just at the end, that are out of the road.
If they're removed.
Does that answer that? Because I didn't know the answer. So, sounds like if the pins are removed, no. If they come out, we'll get it surveyed and put them back in. The whole project, every property's been surveyed. We've got that. So, if through construction, a monument or a pin gets moved, it'll get put back. Anything else?
The reflectors in the middle of the road, they're gonna cut a groove in the asphalt right and set record down here.
Yeah. That's how we do it everywhere else for our snowplow to go over.
Yeah.
That would be the last thing that occurs.
Right.
That's after the road striping and everything.
That'll be in the spring of 25 or summer of 25.
Right.
That'll be after that last layer of asphalt finish out. That's when we're fairly certain that nothing leaks
Right.
and everybody's lights come on and the TV works. Then we'll put that final coat of asphalt, stripe it, and put the reflectors in.
Are y'all doing daylight sign too?
We are.
We are.
Okay. We should do beach stop.
We'll give you all of Skiloft if you want it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Anything else?
No.
I don't want to hold everybody. Thank you very much. Thanks for my people for coming. Again, please keep in touch with us. We probably, I don't have another neighborhood meeting scheduled, but Kate and Daniel are taking questions every day, and we'll get you the answers, and we'll get this thing started. We'll get it done. I think it's a huge improvement. Hopefully, you do too, for your properties. It's a one-time opportunity, and I think it's time that we get that done. So hopefully, you think it's positive as well. All right. Thanks.